Hello everyone, and welcome to my YNR 24 Spoilers channel. Holden and Claire get closer as Kyle realizes the threat. According to spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Kyle Abbott has been inconsolable since coming back from France. As Audra Charles keeps protesting, she gets into difficulties, and her connection to Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, makes Kyle's issues worse. Haley Aaron's character Claire Newman, who is in a first-time relationship, has feelings for Kyle. This indicates that she lacks the ability to compare. Kyle's suspicions are confirmed by Holden's apparent interest in Claire. As a result, viewers are curious to see if she continues to be friends with Owen's character or if she is changing romantic interests. Newman, Claire mimics the tone of the grandfather. Conversations with her grandfather showed that anytime Claire feels someone is attempting to protect her, she automatically reverts to her early experiences with Jordan Howard. However, that was prior to her realizing that Victor Newman's, Eric Braden, viewpoint should not be disregarded since it embodied wisdom. Victor hasn't gone all out in his defense of Kyle. It's more complex because Victor's difficult test was passed by Claire's first lover. Another interesting aspect is Claire's persistent conviction that she doesn't require protection from Kyle, Holden, or anybody else because of her early experiences. Victoria Newman, Claire's mother, used that line frequently in Genoa City, Wisconsin, during her early adulthood and continues to do so sometimes. Loyal viewers are aware that Claire is similar to her grandfather in that she only seeks assistance when she is asked for it. The backstory of Holden Novak is unknown. Only a few specifics concerning his encounter with Audra in Los Angeles, California, are known to viewers. Prior to both characters being incorporated into GC, that is, Audra apparently found herself embroiled in a horrible situation. Holden assisted her in leaving. That's the main idea of that secret scheme. However, if that's the case, Holden was only assisting a woman he cared for, and Audra is the bad guy. But it's daylight. There must therefore be a twist or more. Holden just admitted to Claire that he no longer has the ability to ignore his love for her. She was surprised to hear him confess that. In addition, her defensive ego mechanism caused her to deny Kyle's awareness of that truth. Holden and Kyle's altercation at Crimson Lights served as a sneak peek. Holden feels that Claire can be abducted and that Kyle is losing control over her. She may explain that as her decision rather than an after-the-fact reaction. Distracted by Kyle Abbott for personal use only, Jack Abbott requires his son's undivided attention. But because his heart is open, Kyle is unable to provide it. Kyle needs to patch things up with Claire. She's probably going to start dating Holden, which will further divert Kyle's attention. Because Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott are its only guardians, Jabot is still more vulnerable. Kyle's post-Summer Newman soul mate is becoming closer to a man he doesn't trust, and he is also embroiled in romantic affairs. However, she does, and it's likely causing her more pain. One of the best places to find anything related to The Young and the Restless is this website. For YNR news and spoilers, return often. Holden and Claire get closer after Kyle identifies the threat. With each connection, choice, and secret that has the potential to change Genoa City, The Young and the Restless is based on the ageless tradition of character-driven conflict. This is also true of the most recent storyline with Holden Novak, Claire Newman, and Kyle Abbott. The plot is meant to keep viewers riveted to their screens as they consider allegiances, wonder about intentions, and prepare for heartache. Kyle, a man divided between his desire for enduring love and his past traumas, is at the heart of it all. However, as Claire and Holden become closer, it becomes harder to distinguish between manipulation, true love, and the lingering effects of the Abbott and Newman families' past. Ever since he returned from France, Kyle Abbott has been in shock. On paper, the trip was supposed to let him decompress and give him the resolve to return to Genoa City determined and focused. However, Kyle is caught up in an emotional maze rather than finding closure. His complex past with Summer Newman is still raw, unresolved, and a source of great emotional pain. Even though he has made friends with Claire Newman, Victor Newman's granddaughter, Kyle is fully aware that their relationship is still in its infancy and has not yet been put to the test. Although Claire's love is sincere, Kyle cannot overlook the vulnerabilities she is due to her lack of romantic experience. Holden Novak moves in between these gaps, using emotion and timing to establish himself as a contender and confidant. The situation is made more difficult by Audra Charles. The stakes are raised by her enigmatic past relationship with Holden, even as she continues to cause trouble in Genoa City. Only parts of their backstory, a perilous ball situation in Los Angeles when Holden reportedly intervened to save Audra, are known to viewers. Although Holden's efforts seem noble on the surface, seasoned viewers of daytime television know that there is always more going on. Did Holden save the day? Or did he participate in the same problem Audra was trying to avoid? Because of these unanswered questions, Holden's actions in Genoa City are viewed suspiciously throughout the plot. The emotional dilemma of Claire Newman. Claire Newman has an intriguing blend of toughness and sensitivity. She bears the burden of expectation and the intricacy of family history as the granddaughter of Victor Newman and the daughter of Victoria Newman. Growing up in a setting where deceit and manipulation were frequently passed off as protection, Claire was taught to distrust anyone in positions of authority, particularly those who claimed to know what's best for her. She still reacts defensively anytime someone tries to protect her from harm because of the scars from her early encounters with Jordan Howard. Claire's tendency is to resist, even when someone is trying to help her, and she frequently confuses protection with control. Her connection with Kyle puts this instinct to the test. Claire views Kyle's warnings as condescending, even though he loves her and wants to shield her from Holden's intents. She automatically adopts a protective posture, just like her mother Victoria did when she was a young adult. Because of this quality, fans find Claire to be both likable and annoying. She desires autonomy and equality in romantic relationships, but her lack of experience prevents her from seeing the risks associated with misguided trust. In contrast to Kyle's careful, perhaps intrusive approach, Holden's interest in her offers her validation, a sense of desirability, and a source of thrill. The situation is made more difficult by Victor Newman's tacit endorsement of Kyle. Kyle, in contrast to many of Claire's previous suitors, passed Victor's rigorous exam and gained reluctant respect. Victor's support for Kyle is nuanced rather than unqualified, though. He views Kyle as a stabilizing force, but he does not completely step in, giving Claire the appearance of independence while silently watching. Longtime admirers understand that Victor's reserve is calculated and his quiet speaks volumes, creating a dramatic undertone. Victor will take over if Claire makes a mistake, but not before teaching her valuable lessons about judgment, love, and trust. Holden Novak, the mysterious. Despite being a relatively new character in Genoa City, Holden Novak has already changed the power dynamics. Holden conveys charm and sincerity in his encounters with Claire, despite the dark undertones of his history with Audra. He recently spoke clean about his emotions for Claire, which surprised her. She sees Holden as a symbol of opportunity, an uncharted route unencumbered by Kyle's troubled past. Holden's admission, however, confirms Kyle's worst suspicions. Another guy is pursuing the woman he loves, and Claire might not recognize the danger until it's too late. Holden has a methodical and meticulous approach. He takes advantage of Kyle's diversion as he struggles to balance his responsibilities to Jabot and his waning passion with Claire. The appearance of intimacy is produced by every little gesture, every listening session, and every reminder that he understands Claire better than Kyle. The relationship is unquestionably risky for Kyle, regardless of whether his intentions are sincere or deceptive. Torn between duty and love, Kyle Abbott. Life has never been easy for Kyle Abbott. He bears the weight of both company responsibility and family legacy as Jack Abbott's son. Jabot needs his concentration, particularly in a cutthroat environment where opponents are waiting for the Abbotts to falter. However, Kyle's delicate relationship with Claire is taking up all of his attention. Jabot is exposed by his incapacity to keep his personal life and work obligations apart. Although they are able to hold the line, Jack and Diane are unable to permanently protect the business. The repercussions for Kyle's personal life and the family business might be dire if he keeps allowing his emotions to rule him. Kyle's dissatisfaction and paranoia are fueled by his knowledge of Holden's involvement in Claire. A preview of the impending conflict between the two guys was given by the altercation at Crimson Lights. Although Kyle is aware of Holden's motivations, Claire misinterprets Kyle's worry as distrust because of her inexperience. Drama that is explosive is set up by this dynamic. Kyle runs the danger of further alienating Claire if he pushes too hard. Holden might win her heart if he stays quiet. Viewers are left wondering if Kyle can maintain the delicate balance required to safeguard his relationship and his family's legacy because of the obvious strain. Genoa City's domino effect. This plot's reverberating effects throughout Genoa City are what make it so captivating. Claire's decisions have an impact on the Abbott and Newman families in addition to her relationship with Kyle. Claire's attraction to Holden will rekindle long-standing animosities between the family since Victor will unavoidably step in to defend his granddaughter. Jack will also have to step in, either to help Kyle or to get his attention back on Jabot. In the meanwhile, Audra's contribution cannot be understated. Every relationship in this triangle will be altered when the truth about their past comes to light because of her link to Holden, which is a ticking time bomb. Secrets are the lifeblood of daytime dramas, and Holden's past is a perfect illustration. The final reveal will be riskier the more he becomes involved in Claire's life. The emotional impact will be terrible if Claire falls for him and subsequently learns of betrayal. In addition to losing Holden, Claire will have to deal with the agonizing knowledge that she misjudged the man who genuinely loved her if Kyle turns out to be correct all along. The core of the plot is this duality: love versus manipulation, trust versus betrayal.